match in Kent for the 47th running of the BRSCC Formula Ford Festival. This is the big one, the most prestigious Formula Ford race in the world, the one they all want to win. Let's head down to the Holden Bay for race 1.
Joshua Smith setting the qualifying time for Heat 1, 50.214 around the Indy circuit here at Brands. Niall Murray with him on the front row. It's a strong entry for Heat 1. Keith Donegan is third from Carter Williams. Guillaume Archambault next from Jonathan Brown. Geoffrey Orion and Noel Robinson ahead of an all-Scottish row 5. Sebastian Melrose and Michael McPherson. Felix Fisher, Gary Sykes next from Conor Murphy and Steve Barlow. Mark Armstrong and Jordan Harrison on row 8. Row 9, Flashman Finneran and Andrew Blair. Derek M. Daly 19th from Ian Geary. The grid completed by Terry Walkingshaw and Dan Rene Larson. Joshua Smith on pole in black. 2013 Van Diemen. Another Van Diemen alongside him, or just further back, is Niall Murray, the white with the colours along the side. They make a good start. Murray slots into second place. The top four away well. Smith, Murray, Donegan, Carter Williams and Canadian scholarship man Guillaume Archambault in 5th place. There's some toing and froing going on down towards the back, but it's a good start from Josh Smith, the 18-year-old Cumbrian, winner of the Avon Tyres Northern Formula Ford 1600 Championship post 89 last year. A good start from him. Let's see what he can do from the front row of the grid. That's Conor Murphy going a little bit wide. Then loses a place, I think, to Steve Barlow. Let's have a look as they come through Surtees. So it is Barlow up front in the black car, then Conor Murphy behind him in the Marlborough livery, and then immediately behind them, the orange car, is Mark Armstrong in one of the pre-82 cars. But out front, Joshua Smith coming under pressure here from Niall Murray as they go into Paddock Hill Bend. Murray looks like he was really on the attack and maybe looking to go up the inside line, and as they head up towards Druids, he's going through on the inside line. Niall Murray is through going into Druids. Super move going into Druids, textbook Formula Ford, but we haven't seen the last of Josh Smith yet. Smith will try and get the position back, but it's Niall Murray, of course, did the double in 2016. Walter Hayes winner and Festival winner, and looking to do it again, and Josh Smith will be putting pressure on him. Niall Murray, of course, this year's national champion, won the Triple Crown as well, both of those from Michael Eastwell, who we'll see later on in the meeting. So across the line goes Murray now in front. Good battle going on as we go on to the last lap now. Battle for third. It's Murray from Donegan out front. Joshua Smith is in third. Then Carter Williams. Guillaume Archambault is next. And a really good battle going on between these guys. There is Guillaume in the white 23 car. Jonathan Brown immediately behind him. Niall Murray's going to take this one with fastest lap, which he set back on lap 7 of the 15 as this super battle for third place goes along Cooper Straight. It looks to me as if the pole man Joshua Smith is going to be frustrated with third position here, but it still puts him in the front end of things. What you don't want at this stage is a DNF, so he's going to be up towards the sharp end as Niall Murray takes the win. Keith Donegan in second place. Josh Smith is being challenged hard for third place, but he beats Carter Williams. Guillaume Archambault is next. Then Jonathan Brown in 6th from Geoffrey Orion. Felix Fisher is 8th from Michael McPherson. Gary Sykes completing the top 10. Conor Murphy next from Sebastian Melrose. Then Andrew Blair and Steve Barlow in 14th. Good opening race the weekend though for Niall Murray.
Niall Murray, Heat 1 winner, Festival winner, 2013, 2016. I was speaking to someone this morning and they said that you were the favourite, and that certainly persuaded things in your direction with a dominant win.
Yeah, I don't know, I think I'll push all that favourite pressure onto Michael Eastwell. He's been the quickest all week and quickest this morning there in qualifying as well, but you know, I've been racing him all year. I think I can outrace him. I might not have the outright pace, but we found a couple of things with the car and a couple of things in my driving lines as well that I was struggling with all week, but I managed to get right there in the heat. So yeah, no, the pace is there. Looking forward to tomorrow.
Keith, well done. You came really, really close to winning the festival last year. This morning someone said that you were a dark horse, I think is how they described you for this one.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm usually the underdog. Last year I was really the underdog. We came from 6th on the grid. Joey just bet us last year, so we're back again trying to get it this year. Yeah, that heat was okay. It wasn't entirely the plan. I wanted to win it, but we've definitely got some things to work on. Hopefully we'll come back out in the semi stronger and maybe take the win there.
Josh, disappointment in your face, I can see it, because it's pole to thirds, it always hurts, but you mentioned a small problem with the car.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a small problem, I'd call it quite a big problem. I basically was really struggling to turn the car. I was trying everything out there. I just had to crank more and more locking, and it was a general struggle to keep it on the circuit, but it was just damage limitation. I was quite comfortable sat behind Niall, just banging in mid 50.5, 50.6. It was comfortable, but obviously then the issue occurred, so I was just like, just bring it home, bring it home.
Formula Ford Festival heat number 2 is lining up behind me again. Actually, hot conditions here at Brands Hatch. Sun's setting a little bit, but as you will see, everybody with a tinted visor on here. Matthew Cowley, who ran really strong at the festival last year, continuing that form this year in the same car, back on the front row. But you'll notice a familiar face here on pole position for heat number 2, Neil McLennan, who ended up on pole position for the grand final last year, finishing 3rd overall. Neil, back at the festival, we've not seen too much of you this year. You had a great festival last year with pole position. You almost won it. Got a really good chance now in one of Kevin Mills' Spectrums.
Yeah, cheers, Joe. Yeah, last year was very close between me and Joey, but no, it was a really, really good race. Hopefully this year we can try and get the win. Been here testing with Kevin in this car, and yeah, it's absolutely faultless. It's just absolutely delighted with the car.
Well, you've got off to the best start that you could. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
And with that, I will hand it to Richard. Formula Ford heat number 2 heading out on track.
Neil's pole time 50.506. Matt Cowley with a 50.515, very tight at the front of the grid for heat 2. Jake Craig and Chris Middlehurst row 2. Stuart Goff and Ivan McCullough on row 3. Then Peter Dempsey and Tom MacArthur. Abdul Ahmed next from Max Maserati. Adriano Medeiros and Matt Chisholm, followed by Rick Morris and Jack Kemp. Sam Street and Dan Fox on row 8. Row 9 of the grid, Stuart Kestenbaum and Michael Thompson. Thomas Johansson with Nicholas Gibson next up from James E. Hagan and Fraser Gray. So the second third of this mammoth quality entry for the 47th Formula Ford Festival is there, and away we go, lights out. A good start from poleman Neil McLennan. Matt Cowley was a little bit slower than he would have liked, and Jake Craig from Team USA goes down the inside line. It's a fraught start. They all know that the higher up they finish, the better the grid position for the semi-finals. But it's Neil McLennan made a super start. It's the young American Jake Craig from Orange County, California, who's in second place. Third position is Matt Cowley, who's got work to do, and that's the Royale of Rick Morris that has spun out there on the exit of Druids. Rick gets it going, and that car, incidentally, the last Royale, designed in 1981 by Pat Simmons, who went on to work for Williams in Formula 1. So it's not just drivers who have their roots in F4, it's engineers as well. Look at this battle here. Max Maserati coming under pressure from Abdul Ahmed. Those two tied together on the grid. They're still battling hard, which is wonderful to see. So some super Formula Ford racing here. We've got newcomers in the festival once again, plus some very experienced drivers. It's fair to say the complexion of the festival has changed over the years, as Maserati has a good look to try and deal with Abdul Ahmed, but out front still Neil McLennan from Jake Craig. This now the battle for the lead. Through on the inside, Matt Cowley goes through, having dealt with the American. He was back in third at one point, goes a little bit sideways there, collects it up. So Cowley now through, up into the lead. It's a four-way dice for the lead with Chris Middlehurst in the mix as well. Craig on the outside line, Middlehurst is up into third place, but it's Matt Cowley leading this one at the moment. Neil McLennan, the Scot, is trying to fight back. The white car with the blue trim. I tell you what, Jake Craig, having been in second, is going to be a little bit disappointed. Less experience of the Brands Hatch circuit for the young American. But Matthew Cowley was back in third earlier on in this race, and he's fought back, and he's got the lead here. This is going to be a sensational win for Cowley if he can do it. Craig's got the fastest lap though at the moment, back on lap 5, as they come out of the Clark Curve onto the Brabham straight, cross the line and go on to the last lap of Heat 2. a four-way battle for the lead. The fastest man, I remind you, is in 4th place here, and Craig's going to have a look up the inside line of Chris Middlehurst here. In fact, he goes on the outside line as they go up to Druids. Middlehurst is piling the pressure on Neil McLennan for 2nd position, and the fact that we've got 2nd, 3rd and 4th closer together means that Matthew Cowley has a little bit of breathing space here. And out front, this is going to give him a great starting position for the semi-finals. Neil McLennan will be ruining the fact that he couldn't win from pole, but it's a strong 2nd place for him. Middlehurst still in 3rd, but coming under pressure from Jake Craig, who looks on the inside line with a bit more circuit knowledge as the weekend builds. Craig is going to be one to watch, but it's Cowley that takes the win. McLennan 2nd, Chris Middlehurst a fine 3rd, Jake Craig in 4th, then Peter Dempsey and Stuart Goff, Tom MacArthur 7th from Abdul Ahmed, Adriano Medeiros and Max Maserati in 10th place.
Matt Cowley, heat winner. You came really close to winning the festival last year. You were certainly fighting at the front at the start of the final, and this is a good way to start your attack for tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. Last year we were really strong. Unfortunately, there was an incident in the final which put us back. But coming back stronger than ever, hopefully same thing again, except not have the incident and win.
Neil, back at the festival, my favourite to win. I think last year you came so close, pole position, led the final, ended up 3rd. We spoke to you before the race there again, and I know I'm putting a little bit of pressure on you, but fantastic start, but didn't quite go to plan.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. No, it didn't quite go to plan. Got a really good start for, and then we did get a gap, so it looked good. It looked promising at first, but no.
I walked away because I thought it was over.
No. No, I think tyres just got too warm towards the end and then just started to lose grip. So just got to go try for the semi now and try make a few changes, see what happens. But yeah, it was a bit of a struggle towards the end, but no, I'm happy enough.
Chris, a veteran, I'm going to call you a veteran now of the festival, and been bloody close to winning it as well a couple of times. But tomorrow, is this going to be your day?
Hope so, yeah, definitely a good race there, battling with the guys at the front, so 3rd place, I'll take that for now, and work on it tomorrow, the set up overnight and try and go for a podium again in the semi and then look forward to the final.
Well done.
Thanks very much.
Formula Ford Festival, heat number 3, and the sun is now really low at this stage. Pole position is the quickest man so far. Michael Eastwell went the quickest in qualifying this morning than anybody else, so you could statistically say he is so far the favourite, and he's got Ollie White alongside him on the front row. I'm going to hand this one to Richard, and he'll take us through all the action of heat number 3.
Thank you, Joe. It is indeed Michael Eastwell on pole. Ollie White alongside Matt around Garrido next from Colin Mullen. Joey Foster and Rory Smith on row 3. David McCullough and Luke Cooper on the 4th row. Row 5, Henry Chart and Jason Down. Very good to welcome Vincent Rademacher here. John Svensson alongside, then Ryan Campbell and Tom Hawkins, Alan Davidson and the Swiss, Pascal Monbaron. Then it is Adam Fathers, David Nicol, Henry Campbell, the McCullers, Ashley ahead of Ian, and then James Graham completing the grid.
Okay, pick up the action.
3rd and final group of drivers of this year's entry. The lights are on and a last heat is underway. Eastwell gets away well, so too does Ollie White in the all-red car, closing up on Eastwell and looking on the outside line as they go up into Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. It's a great Formula Ford start. Now, are we going to see our first lights to flag victory? Most people are betting on Michael Eastwell to do that. He leads them into Druids for the first time. 3rd position, Matt round Garrido. Then it's Colin Mullen, the 2nd of the Team USA scholarship drivers that we've seen in this meeting. Some very fraught action going on there down at Graham Hill Bend on lap 1 as they sort themselves out, heading into the sun along Cooper Straight, then into Surtees and McLaren. So a good start to this race as we watch the 61 car of Alan Davidson, the Irishman. They're slowing up, so somebody I think has gone off. They're slowing up. Oh, and Pascal Monbaron goes into the back of another car. They all checked up. The safety car had been deployed, I think, for Ashley McCullough, but it's caused other problems. So, well, at least we get a sort out, but that won't help Pascal Monbaron in the red car, who pulls up onto the grass. It was at the Walter Hayes Festival last year, Pascal, but not the way he wanted to start. He's going to have to go into the last chance race, ultimately, maybe to get into the final. He'll be off the back in the semis, might be able to make some progress, very possibly. So, there's the car in the gravel at Paddock Hill Bend. Now the ramifications, as we see Pascal safely out of his car, but that car damaged. I'm surprised he didn't do damage. I think it was John Svensson's car he might have hit, so I'm surprised Svensson's car wasn't damaged as well. Hands aloft. Well, we go racing once again here. And Michael Eastwell, runner-up in the National Championship to Niall Murray. Third was Matt Round-Garrido, so it gives you an idea of who's where in this event. Joey Foster running well. Joey Foster running in third place. So it's Michael Eastwell well clear from Ollie White, but the ramifications of the safety car means that this will be a slower heat, and therefore the faster heat positions get the preferential starting places on the grids for the semi-finals. Joe will tell you more about that later on, I'm sure. But Michael Eastwell, it's been a dominant performance here. The 22-year-old from Southampton last year had third in the last chance race, finished 18th in the festival overall, but had a super year this year, as we've mentioned, and he is going to take the win in Heat 3 here of the 2018 Formula Ford Festival, and it's a convincing win after that initial safety car, very nearly 3 seconds clear to take the flag now. Michael Eastwell convincingly wins Heat 3 with Oliver White second, Joey Foster is third, Matt Round-Garrido fourth from Colin Mullen, then Rory Smith from David McCullough, Alan Davidson in 8th, Jason Down 9th, and Vincent Rademacher completing the top 10.
Michael, everyone's saying you're the favourite, quickest in qualifying. I mentioned that before the race, and then you proved it in the race by getting a mega restart and basically driving away.
Well, I haven't heard that I'm the favourite yet, but no, it's nice to hear that. No, we've had a really great day, so we've done as much as we can today. Unfortunately, we will be the slowest heat, given the safety car. It seemed to last forever.
There was a cheer from Neil McLennan and the rest of the guys up on the podium when the safety car came out because they knew that it would slow you down.
No, it's we got some good inter-team sort of rivalry at the moment, so it's been a really good day for the team. So yeah, I think we should all be really proud, Kevin Mills Racing Team. So yeah, big thanks to the guys.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you ever so much. Thank you.
Ollie, you had the hardest job there. The leader was gone, Joey was attacking, but you were the guy having to try to hold station.
That's right, yeah. Well, Michael got a really good restart. So, you know, really there was a gap immediately. And then the guys behind me had a slipstream. So really, once Michael got away, it was all about hanging on for second.
Joey Foster, festival winner last year, obviously, but that doesn't count now. You've got to do it again tomorrow. And a good start there, obviously, up to third from fifth.
Yeah, it was a tough heat, so I just wanted to try and make as much progress as I could. Without taking too many risks, because obviously
there was quite a few risks going into paddock here, I saw.
Yeah, they were calculated. I sort of put the nose up the inside a couple of times, but Ollie had it covered. There was no way he was going to leave the door open. So yeah, I sort of decided just to tuck in behind him and just any opportunity to put my nose up the inside and see if he'd make a mistake, but he never did.
Camtech Security semi-final number 1 for the Formula Ford Festival is almost ready to go. It's actually Niall Murray who will be on pole position lined up alongside. He's not here yet, but I've got Michael Eastwell and Neil McLennan here. The two Kevin Mill racing cars lining up second and third. First of all, Michael, for me, I'm going to put a load of pressure on you here and say that you're the favourite to win this so far with the dominant heat win yesterday. Front row of the grid for the semi-final. You need to make it to the front.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's probably the toughest semi-final, in all honesty. But no, me and Neil are looking for a good race. The cars are quick, and hoping to move forward a position would be nice.
Yeah, Niall Murray is not here yet, so I can't speak to him, but if I was him, I'd feel a little bit concerned that he's got two Kevin Mill racing cars around him, and you guys have obviously got a plan. You're going to work together?
Oh yeah, that's the plan. As Michael says, we're going to have a good race, hopefully. But yeah, the plan is just to work together, stay at the front, and give let Niall have some hassle under him, so no, it'll be fine, we'll be fine.
Remember, you don't need to win this one.
No, it's for the final event, definitely, but it would be nice to get ahead of him for this one. Niall's having it too easy at the moment, so let's try and bring the fight to him.
Right, good luck, guys, and with that, I will hand it to Richard. Remember, it's the top 16 that will make it through to the grand final.
Niall Murray on pole. Michael Eastwell is alongside him, then Neil McLennan and Josh Smith from Joey Foster and Jake Craig. Guillaume Archambault and Colin Mullen completing row 4. Row 5, Stuart Goff and Jeffrey Orient, then it's David McCullough and Abdul Ahmed from Michael McPherson and Jason Down. Max Maserati on the 8th row with Connor Murphy. row 9, John Svensson and Jack Kemp, followed by Andrew Blair. Adam Fathers 20th, 21st on the grid, Dan Fox with Jordan Harrison alongside. Lights out, away we go. Good start by Michael Eastwell to slot into second place, but it's Niall Murray who leads this one. Neil McLennan is third, but for how long? Because round the outside goes Josh Smith, and Josh Smith's got his nose in black through into third place. Great start by Josh Smith. So McLennan is down into fourth place, but it's Michael Eastwood trying to chase Arch Championship rival Niall Murray out front. A good start to the Camtech Security BRSCC Formula Ford Festival semi-final 1 here at Brands Hatch, and what a superb sight they make, coming along Cooper Straight for the first time. Well, very close. This the quartet dicing over second, third, fourth and fifth. A little bit of a gap at the moment for Niall Murray, and Josh Smith now second. This is a very impressive drive from Josh Smith from fourth on the grid, and it means that Michael Eastwell and Neil McLennan getting stuck in with Jake Craig around the outside line. Then it's Joey Foster trying to join in as well. Joey started in fifth place. He's in the red car, Joey Foster. The 2018 Furman chassis, qualified fifth for his heat, was third in his first race of the weekend. But at the moment, Niall Murray from Josh Smith, Michael Eastwell in third, not looking as happy as perhaps people thought he might be. And then it's Neil McLennan in third, Jake Craig in fourth place. Outside line here for Joey Foster. He's going to have a look maybe at the inside line going into paddock. No, he's not. They're all keeping themselves in good position at the moment. Now the question is, where is Michael Eastwell? Michael Eastwell nowhere to be seen. And there he is, he's out. Michael Eastwell is out of the festival. One of the favourites, the man who set the fastest lap in qualifying, is out of the race. You can see the frustration it is. We've got Niall Murray out front now, Josh Smith in second. This is the battle for third place between Neil McLennan, Joey Foster and Jake Craig, the American, proving to be a star once again. You can see the waved yellows where Michael Eastwell is out. We also lost David Nicol, Michael Thompson from this race as well. Josh Smith has got the fastest lap, but Niall Murray is going to back up his heat win with a semi-final win. He'll just be hoping to grab the fastest of the two semis to take pole position for the final of this year's festival. So Murray closing up on Ian Geary and Ian McCullough, I think that is. No, it's Ian Geary and Dan Fox, I beg your pardon. So look at the lap chart, he's closing down, he's being waved at by Geary to go to the outside line, which he sees. Murray crosses the line now to win the first semi-final. Josh Smith second, Neil McLennan third from Joey Foster and Jake Craig. Colin Mullen next from Guillaume Archambault. Then David McCullough, Jeffrey Oriant from Stuart Goff completing the top 10. Abdul Ahmed next from Luke Cooper and Max Maserati. Michael McPherson and John Svensson in 15th. Then Jason Down, Henry Charts, Colin Murphy and Jack Kemp in 19th.
Now Murray, firm favourite now. Michael obviously having a disaster as well. I know he had some serious pace, but now he's completely out of contention, and you've absolutely dominated semi-final 1, which I think is going to give you pole position, considering the next one will probably be more of a battle than what you just had.
Yeah, hopefully. It doesn't really matter here whether you start first or second. It's, you know, first pole isn't the best place to start, and second is a bit further back, so it's kind of equal. Obviously pole is that little bit of an edge, so yeah, I'm happy enough. Unfortunate to see Michael, you know, parked up on the grass. He was obviously very quick all weekend. He was chasing that win all year in the national championship and didn't quite get it. It was so close. So yeah, you know, he was looking strong this weekend, and unfortunately, obviously something broke on the car. So yeah, there's still a lot more people that are on the pace as well. I was struggling big time in that semi. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just the tyres. So yeah, we'll see.
Neil, well done. A solid position for the final. It's not going to be pole like last year, but you can still win from the third row.
Yeah, no, not pole this year, but we'll see what we can do. But no, delighted with that race. Stayed out of trouble, you know, so no, happy.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Avon Tyres semi-final 2 for the Formula Ford Festival is ready to go. On pole position is heat winner Matthew Cowley. Alongside him is Keith Donoghue. Now Donoghue was really strong yesterday, has come from racing in America. In fact, if we've got a chance, we'll have a really quick chat with Keith. Keith, kind of under the radar a little bit yesterday in the heats. You were really strong, came close to winning the festival last year, which led to the Indy ticket, which led to a drive in America last year. You've got to be back here for the win today.
Yeah, Joe, that's the aim today. I suppose we probably won't be happy with anything else, but we had a few problems with the carb all weekend, and hopefully they've ironed themselves out now, and we'll give this semi a good shot, and then hopefully we'll be in it by the end.
Good luck.
Thanks, Joe.
And with that, I'll hand it to Richard. Semi-final 2, heading out on track.
The Avon Tyres semi-final 2 with Matt Cowley on the front row of the grid with Keith Donegan. Then it's Ollie White and Chris Middlehurst. Carter Williams on the third row with Matt Round-Garrido, Peter Dempsey and Jonathan Brown on row 4. Fifth row, Rory Smith and Tom MacArthur, then Felix Fisher and Alan Davidson, Adriano Medeiros and Gary Sykes on row 7, Vincent Rademacher and Matt Chisholm on the 8th row. They're followed by Sebastian Melrose and Ryan Campbell, Stuart Kestenbaum and Steve Barlow, Henry Campbell and Rick Morris on row 11. Complete grid of 30 cars here, ready for the second semi, and it's the black and yellow machine of Matt Cowley that gets away well. A good start by Ollie White, who looks up the inside line on Keith Donegan to take second place, so the red car into second place is Oliver White. A good start from him. Keith Donegan, a little bit of argy-bargy behind. Donegan on the inside line trying to reclaim second place as they go up into and Donegan spun. Keith Donegan, one of the fancy runners, spins. He's going to rejoin, but a fair way back down the grid. One of the fancy runners taking a spin, but out front it's Matthew Cowley here leading. Ollie White looking very racy indeed in second position. The Medina Sport JL17 qualified second for the heat, is second in his heat, and now challenging for a front row slot in the final. What drama here in the BRSCC Formula Ford Festival. So here we come then, here's the battle for the lead, and Ollie White looks to the outside line, going high, wide and handsome, to quote Brian Jones, going into Paddock Hill Bend. Superb Formula Ford racing from those two. And look, you've got to say, White seems to have more momentum here. Wide line into Druids, but it's still Matt Cowley in the Van Diemen who holds on to lead position at the moment. A little bit further back, a challenge there by Chris Middlehurst in white on the inside of Matt Round-Garrido. Middlehurst front end looks a little bit snaky, and Matt Round-Garrido is out of the race. Well, certainly he's going to be, if he's not out of the race, he'll be a fair way back, so major drama. Round-Garrido third in the National Championship with Donegan and him going, what an action-packed, well, I tell you what, Joe Tanner said in the holding area this is going to be a more fraught semi-final. You know, they're all fraught given the quality of the drivers, but he was absolutely right in that regard. Ollie White, he's got momentum, Oliver White here, second in the heat, first in the semi-final. But talk about momentum, Peter Dempsey has it too, because he's come through, qualified 7th, 5th in the heat, and he's up into 3rd place. So that really augurs well for his final two, the returning Peter Dempsey. But Ollie White's going to win the second semi. White continues on his way, closing in on Laurie Hughes in the Van Diemen RF78. And he nips through on the inside. We just catch a glimpse of Laurie, there he is. But it's going to be Ollie White to take win in the Avon Tyres semi-final 2, and fastest lap as well. Here he comes down towards the checkered flag, and it's Oliver White that takes it. Matt Cowley second, Peter Dempsey third, Carter Williams in 4th place from Jonathan Brown, then Keith Donegan, great recovery into 6th ahead of Alan Davidson, Seb Melrose, then Tom MacArthur and Felix Fisher. Noel Robinson next from another good recovery, Matt Round-Garrido, Vincent Rademacher, Ryan Campbell, Matt Chisholm in 15th, Rick Morris 16th with Gary Sykes, Mark Armstrong and Adriano Medeiros.
Semi-final 2 winner. We don't think it's going to be pole position for the final, but it's certainly going to be front row. You've used your new rubber there. You've got the older stuff for the final. Still doable though.
It is. I mean, I don't think that race took too much out of them because there were a few laps under the safety car and I managed to keep it smooth towards the end. So I think there's plenty left in them.
You almost won the Walter Hayes last year. Was it last year or the year before? I can remember you leading for a long, long time, and then it ended in disaster. You're kind of due a big win, either the festival or the Walter Hayes, aren't you?
Yeah, it was actually last year.
Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, I was leading until the last lap, and then unfortunately I had an incident with the car. But yeah, I think I am. But you got to go and do it, and I'll get my head down later, and hopefully it'll come.
Well done.
Thanks.
Matt, you've been featuring all weekend, from qualifying to the heats and now in the semi-final, still at the front, using your head and not using your new set of tyres. You've got to be going into the final on the second row, but with a good chance of winning.
Yeah, I mean, that was the plan from the get-go. We decided that we wanted to save our new tyres for the final. Knew that this heat was going to be a bit difficult because obviously Keith starting second and Ollie starting third. They were both on their new rubber, so we anticipated it being difficult and maybe not winning, but we figured that with the new tyres, it'll be not that difficult to get around and get back up to the front in the final and then give us good pace later on in the race.
Peter Dempsey, welcome back. A long time away from Formula Ford and a tough week, a tough weekend, a tough day yesterday, but it's starting to come good.
Yeah, obviously great to finally get a run up to the front there and be able to try hang on to the lads. It's been a bit of a struggle, just can't get the car to come off the corners. I lose 3 or 4 car lengths by the time we get to fourth gear. So we're just keep working away. We're going to change the coil probably for the final and see if that helps us. But obviously starting the first 3 rows for the finals gives yourself a bit of a shot, but would have liked to probably finish second there if I could.
From the Ford Festival, last chance race is about to begin. This is for the people that have had a bit of a disastrous weekend, but it gives them the opportunity to progress to the final. But it will only be the top 4 cars that finish this race, the top 4 finishers, that will progress to the back of the final. I'll hand it to Richard for all the action.
Thanks, Joe. It's Max Maserati on pole, Vincent Rademacher alongside Michael McPherson and Ryan Campbell, row 2. John Svensson and Matthew Chisholm on the 3rd row from Jason Down and Rick Morris. Henry Charlton, Gary Sykes on row 5. Then Connor Murphy and Mark Armstrong from Jack Kemp, Adriano Medeiros, and then Jordan Harrison and Tom Hawkins on row 8. Andrew Blair with Derek M. Daly, James E. Hagan and Stuart Kestenbaum row 10. Dan Fox and Nicholas Gibson on row 11. 30 cars starting this one, but realistically we're going to be looking at drivers in the top 10 on the grid. A little bit of movement I think there was from Vincent Rademacher, and he makes a super start. Not a great start for Max Maserati from pole position, but he's in 4th, so he's managed to get it up through the gears. Not the best of starts for him. It's Ryan Campbell in 3rd place, but it's Rademacher leading from Michael McPherson as they go to Druids the first time. I tell you what, Max looking a little bit cross with himself there. Has a bit of a lock-up going into Druids, but still in with a good shout here in 4th position as they all try and sort themselves out behind. Long Cooper Straight for the first time. Vincent Rademacher is the race leader. Well used to Formula Ford, of course raced in the British Championship as far back as 1992. Was 4th in the Championship that year, then moved into Formula Opel, German Formula 3. You might remember him as Gianni Morbidelli's teammate in the British Touring Car Championship, so a useful driver. Coming under pressure from Michael McPherson. It really is good to see Vincent racing again, the Belgian, and 3rd position Ryan Campbell putting them all under pressure as well. Max Maserati is busy challenging to in 4th place, and up the inside line now looks Ryan Campbell challenging for 2nd place, but he's now mindful in that Reynard of the Swift Cooper right behind him as well. Maserati may not have got the start he wanted, but he's recovered superbly in 4th place. The lead quartet dicing hard. He shows the nose of the Swift Cooper to the Reynard, challenging for 3rd place. The Reynard in turn is busy challenging Michael McPherson in the Ray out of Clark Curve and onto the Brabham straight once again. Sun starting to dip down in the sky as we get towards the end of this fantastic meeting once again. Maserati still chasing hard, and a challenge on for the race lead from Michael McPherson once again. Now we're being told by race control there is a penalty for Vincent Rademacher and Michael McPherson being out of position on the start. That's going to 10-second penalty will put them out of qualifying for the festival final for sure, and it means that it's going to bring up John Svensson and Jason Down into it. So, well, the spectators here are going to be watching the outright battle for the lead, which is still with Vincent Rademacher. But what a drive from Max Maserati, who's come through and is up into second. He's busy fending off Michael McPherson at the moment, but Maserati leading the race on the timing clock, and he's challenging for the lead. This is early days in the Formula Ford career for Max, and what a race he's had here. He's putting the veteran under big pressure. He wants to take the wheel. I'm not sure if he knows about the time penalty or not. Probably may not do so as they come off the clock over the last lap. Rademacher's going to take the checkered flag by the look of it, but Max Maserati is going to take his first Formula Ford win. He challenges on the inside line, and they were virtually side by side as they cross the line, but Max gets it. Ryan Campbell second, John Svensson third from Jason Down and Gary Sykes, Matthew Chisholm sixth, then Connor Murphy, Ivan McCullough eighth from Chris Middlehurst, Jack Kemp completing the top 10, Jordan Harrison next from Rademacher, McPherson, Tom Hawkins and Andrew Blair, James E. Hagan next from Derek M. Daly, Stuart Kestenborg, Dan Fox and Thomas Johansson 20th.
Max, well done. A race win, but a race win you didn't even know about, I could imagine, until you came into the pits at the end.
Yeah, I had no idea. Like, I was thinking, it was close to being a photo finish, and I was fighting my hardest for that win, and then they both had 10-second penalties, so it was like, could have just sat in third there. And
it could have been a nice, relaxing victory.
Yeah, I know, but I've got to, as I said, thank the team for the car. The car's brilliant, and I got to thank everyone for getting me here today. My nan, she's been my biggest fan and supporter. She's given me most of the funding to actually be here. So if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be able to be out there racing.
And in the final.
And in the final. And thanks again to Camtech for sponsoring the event.
Well done.
Thanks. Thank you.
Ryan, well done. Did you know about the time penalty? It's put you into the festival final.
Yep, I knew they were there. I think they went on the red lights, not whenever red lights out. So I knew it was there. Just wanted to hang in. It was quite tight up the front, and the main aim was just to make the final. I knew there was no point getting involved. Just sit back and take my place in the grid in the final. So delighted.
Well done. I'll let you go and get ready.
That's great. Cheers. Thank you.
So after all of the heats and semi-finals, we finally have the Formula Ford Grand Final lined up behind me, ready to go. And again, on pole position, Niall Murray. To be fair, you've got to say he's been the most consistent. He's won it twice already. And if I can just quickly grab him, Niall, if I can grab you for a quick chat. I've just bigged you up as I walked over here, saying you've pretty much been the most consistent man. You have to be the favourite. You're starting from pole position. You could be about half an hour away from festival win number 3.
Yeah, don't speak too soon. There's a long way to go until the checkered flag, but yeah, I'm really happy that we found a problem with the brakes finally. All week I'm really struggling with it, and I kept saying to you on the podium I'm not feeling that comfortable, and finally I found it. So yeah, no, I'm really looking forward. There's a lot more pace in me.
What's the plan here? There's no holding back. It's just going to be absolutely flat out, and I know you want to try to make a break, because if you can get that gap where you don't have to defend, you know it's over.
Yeah, it's always the first lap or two with me. If I get that break and break the toe, it's I can just put the head down and I don't have to defend, and those guys will struggle to match my lap time. So once I can do that, that's the plan. That's what I'm hoping for.
I've seen you do it before. Good luck.
Thanks.
We'll keep moving. Ollie White, in fact, we don't need to go too far. Ollie's right here.
Yeah.
Ollie, front row of the final. We mentioned earlier on, you were really close to winning the Walter Hayes last year. You came within a lap of winning it. Yeah. You deserve a big win, but you're going to have to pounce quite quickly, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I'm just going to go for it and see what happens.
That's a perfect plan. I want to go a little bit further. I want to go all the way back down to 6th place. To a familiar face to Formula Ford fans, a familiar face to the festival. He's moved to America, so he doesn't race here anymore, but it's Peter Dempsey. He's won just about everything going. Peter, turn around. I just bigged you up as I was walking over, saying you're a familiar face to Formula Ford. You've won just about everything going, but you've never won this one.
No, I never won this one. I actually gave up trying, 2010. I just gave up. But, 7-year break, came back, and more of enjoyment than anything else, but obviously we'll see if we can...
You can't kid me, Peter, more enjoyment. You want to win. If you're not winning, you're not enjoying it. I know that.
No, you want to be at least competitive and give yourself a shot to win it. Festivals are hard to control if you win them or not. Obviously, I know that more than anyone, so hopefully to win the year, I don't have the pace to win the year, make it a bit look into a festival win,
Yeah, you're in the mixed P6. It's going to be tricky, but you can do it. You need a bit of drama up that end, though.
Yeah, I need a good start and a bit of drama, but pretty confident I can probably maybe get the third by turn 1 or turn 2 anyway, Druid. So if we get the third and can hang on to the group and settle in, we'll see what happens.
Good luck.
Thanks.
One more, who just pulled up alongside me, Joey Foster. Joey, you've been a little bit under the radar today, but I know that you're always in the hunt. You won this event last year, 7th. You're gonna need some drama at the front and a bit of luck, but you can still do this.
That's it, yeah. I mean, the car's been getting better and better. We only jumped in on Wednesday, so we've been sneaking along and getting a few results, but P7, we can still do something from there, and we will try, for sure.
Good luck.
Thank you, cheers.
And with that, the Formula Ford Festival for 2018 is heading out on track, and I'll hand it over to Richard.
Thanks, Joe. Niall Murray then, looking to take the title again. Ollie White alongside Josh Smith and Matt Cowley on row 2. Then Neil McLennan and Peter Dempsey, Joey Foster and Carter Williams on row 4. Foster, of course, last year's winner. What a quality field. Jake Craig and Jonathan Brown next up from Colin Mullen and Keith Donegan, Guillaume Archambault and Alan Davidson. Then David McCullough and Sebastian Melrose, Jeffrey Orion, Tom MacArthur, Stuart Goff and Felix Fisher ahead of Abdul Ahmed and Luke Cooper, Matt Round-Garrido and Max Maserati, followed by Ryan Campbell, John Svensson, Jason Down, Gary Sykes, Matthew Chisholm and Connor Murphy. What a field. They've been working hard all weekend, and it's Niall Murray who starts on pole position. Ollie White to his outside. Good start by all of them. They've all, I think, slotted into their grid slot, so it's Ollie White chasing and it's Niall Murray the race leader here. There'll be a few swaps and changes mid-order for sure, but the race leaders have got away very confidently. It's a wide, confident line for Niall Murray. So it's Murray, Smith, White, Cowley, McLennan, Dempsey and Joey Foster, the race leaders at Druids for the first time. What a sight these Formula Fords make. The festival still one of the must-see racing events of the British calendar. It's so close there at Graham Hill Bend. 3 cars all together. They managed to survive that. We've got through the opening few corners. Joey Foster's got a damaged nose. Peter Dempsey, the man who's immediately in front of him, it's not the nose, is it? It's the cockpit cowling that's coming loose. Now, I don't know if he'll lose that. He's trying to get back on terms with Peter Dempsey there. Looks to the outside line. I think, if anything, Foster's going to lose a place here. He's got one of the Team USA drivers looking up the inside line as well as they go through. There goes the bodywork safely to one side of the spin there. That's Carter Williams who spun off. Now, is it just the one casualty? No, we've got another car off as well. It might be Gary Sykes who's got off. Red flags. Restart necessitated. Take 2 for the festival here. Niall Murray will have all the pole position nerves again. It's something he's probably used to. Josh Smith looks up the inside line to grab second position. Smith made a very good start indeed. And there are the 2 Team USA scholarship drivers together. Jake Craig and Colin Mullen. Craig qualifying just ahead, but it's a good start for the second time of asking. And Niall Murray did the hard work once again. Oliver White's got more work to do. He's back in 3rd place. Matthew Cowley is in 4th position. You can see from the shadows being cast late in the day here on the final day of the 2018 festival. What a weekend's racing we've had. It's you just have to keep that. You have to be consistent through qualifying, heat and semi-final, and then in the final, maybe save your tyres, as you've heard the drivers say. Now look at Joey Foster, the reigning champion, having a look to the outside line. The Cornishman is getting stuck in. You've got to be brave around the outside line, but tags one of the USA drivers and winds up in the gravel. Let's hope he can get it out. Might be another safety car potentially, but we've lost Joey Foster. That's another big name out of the race. Joey Foster out of it. Problems too for Jake Craig. Jake Craig being pushed away, and that's Max Maserati as well, who's off, the last chance race winner. So we've got the safety car out. No, it's a red flag again. 3rd start here at Brands Hatch. Let's hope it's 3rd time lucky. And away we go. And I tell you what, wasn't the best of starts there for Niall Murray. Superb start by Josh Smith, who goes to the outside line at Paddock. Read that well. Murray had done brilliant starts up to that point. And this is maybe the time where he needed it, but he's got speed, he'll attack as well. We've got Ollie White in third place. Through the dust they go with where we had the oil drop, but the marshals, as ever, have done a superb job of recovering cars, clearing everything up here at Brands Hatch for our final race of the weekend, the 2018 BRSCC Formula Ford Festival. And it's Josh Smith who's out front, the Cumbrian, who's got the lead. Niall Murray, remember, won the double, the Walter Hayes Trophy and the festival at the age of 21 in 2016. The oil flag is out, the drivers will know that, but let's watch now. Niall Murray makes a move, goes to the outside line as they head down towards Barrett. No room there, goes for the cutback on the inside line, and Murray's challenging for the lead. Side by side with Josh Smith, and Murray's through into the lead, reclaims it. He'll be kicking himself about the start at having to do that work, but he goes through and retakes the lead. Absolutely superb Formula Ford racing. Murray onto the last lap. Josh Smith, though, has not given up. We've seen Murray not have the best of starts on the second restart. Up in the mix as well is Ollie White. It's a three-way battle for the lead. Niall Murray defensive, and round the outside goes Oliver White, and through on the inside now goes Josh Smith. Smith's got the lead. Murray's off on the curbs, gets back on in front of Oliver White. What a climax to the festival this is. There's still time for Niall Murray to come back. He's done it once, can he do it again? A three-way scrap for the lead. Matt Cowley is fourth from Neil McLennan and Keith Donegan, but here come the leaders, and it's Josh Smith still out front. Niall Murray in second's going to have a look on the inside line, but it's closed at the moment by Josh Smith, who's timed that run superbly on the last lap. Is it going to be now? Inside line for Niall Murray, down to the checkered flag, and Josh Smith wins the festival. Niall Murray second, Oliver White third, Matthew Cowley in fourth place from Neil McLennan. Keith Donegan takes six from Guillaume Archambault, then Colin Mullen, Matt Round-Garrido Knight, David McCulloch completes the top 10. Then it was Alan Davidson from Jonathan Brown and Chris Middlehurst, Jeffrey Orion from Abdul Ahmed, Felix Fisher and Ivan McCulloch, Jason Down, Ryan Campbell and Matthew Chisholm complete the finishers. Fastest lap to Oliver White, who finished in third. What a climax to the 2018 BRSCC Formula Ford Festival here at Brands Hatch. Congratulations, our winner, Joshua Smith.
Josh, well done. A shocked face there, festival winner 2018. We knew you could do it earlier on. You qualified on the second row and you were sort of quietly confident, in my opinion, but I didn't expect that.
No, yeah, I was always quietly confident. I knew my outright pace was good, and obviously we had the new tyres for the race, like qualifying. So I knew the outright pace was there, and the consistency. To be honest, the car's been unbelievable, to be honest, throughout the whole weekend, and I think that's obviously reflected in my results. But yeah, I didn't expect it myself, to be honest.
You had to do 3 starts, and all 3 of them, because I watched them all of yours were excellent. Niall had one bad one, Ollie had a couple of bad ones, but all yours were perfect, and I think that's kind of what won you this.
Yeah, definitely a few good starts. I don't know, the car just sat down and went. There's nothing I can say. I just can't believe it's happened, and it's been a long season, and
you won at the right time, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely won at the right time. Yeah, we've been building up to it. A lot of hard work and effort's gone in by my sponsors and the people who have supported me in Oldfield Motorsport. A lot of late nights, and it's all paying off. So I'm lost for words. I really am.
Niall Murray, I've never seen such a fake smile in all my days. I actually feel for you because you were dominant, and it was such a messy final with the red flags and everything, and an 8-lap restart wasn't really in your game plan.
No, especially when Josh got me off the line, I was thinking, there's only 8 laps, but thankfully got him on the first lap, or starting the second lap. But look, the oil at Druids was fairly bad, so unless you kept your wheels exactly one each side of the oil, it was really slippy. You had to go around the outside. So once Ollie went around the outside, and Josh was right behind me, I had to defend, and obviously my wheels were on the oil and just locked up and went straight on. Yeah, bit of a stupid mistake. I'm fairly good at to lose it on the last lap, but yeah, that's how it goes.